Right friends, welcome back to S&T Health and Environment, and let us look at various aspects pertaining to science related. One is general science static. I am looking at civil services both prelims as well as mains. General science static, then ecology and environment, that is a static portion, and the most important is dynamic portion, that is current affairs on S&T Health and Ecology Environment. And here if you look at the civil services as a whole, what is required is general science, physics around 30 modules of 20 minutes duration each, chemistry 30 modules, biology 30 modules, and 30 modules on ecology and environment, that is the static portion, and current affairs on S&T Health and Environment. At least one module every week is required. So our planning for civil services 2018 is completing this general sciences static modules 30 plus 30 plus 30. They are mostly from 6th to 10th standard with some more additions, and they will be completed by 31st March 2018. And revision of general science for preliminary exams we are planning to start from 1st April to 31st May. And if you look at ecology and environment part, 30 modules from 12th standard with some additions, and these current affairs based modules on S&T ecology and environment, they are one module every week. So this is the normal pattern for 2018 civil services examination. So revision for prelims in these aspects will start from 2018 from 1st April to 31st May, and for mains 2018 aspects pertaining to S&T ecology and environment, answer writing practice on these aspects will start from 1st April 2018. So this is our planning for 2018, and you may have a doubt who is going to take up this task. For the first time, Learning Space is introducing another faculty, Madam Amrita Naidu, born in Kolkata in 1990, graduated from Presidency College, Kolkata, and post graduation from Kolkata University, and she will look at all these aspects from now onwards. So I would like to tell all of you, from now onwards, this general science static, ecology and environment static, and the dynamic issues or current affairs related issues of S&T, ecology, environment and health related issues, they will be looked after by Madam Amrita Naidu. So she will be the second faculty from Learning Space, and after this the leftover aspects to be covered as far as civil services 2018 are concerned are history and art and culture and polity. So hopefully you will have new faculty in the very near future, and with these words I am introducing Madam Amrita Naidu to take up the task of S&T Health and Environment and all other aspects whatever I have explained you a short while ago. Right friends, I hope that you enjoy all these lectures. So now I am introducing Madam Amrita Naidu to take up the task. Right friends, I hope all of you will enjoy the lectures the way you are doing with the Learning Space.
Hello friends, from now we are going to start Science and Technology, Health and Environment for all our modules. So let's come to Science and Technology, Health and Environment. I am Amrita Naidu and I'll take you through the recent developments and insight. So let us talk about the first topic today. China makes flammable ice breakthrough in South China Sea. What was the article? The article says that China has extracted gas from ice under the South China Sea. Now this ice, or we can say it has methane hydrate, or considered to be the future energy supply. They are first discovered in Russia, but those methane hydrates were extremely difficult to mine. The methane hydrates, or also called as the methane clathrates, are extremely flammable, and also they are holding vast reserves of natural gas. And many countries including US and Japan is working to tap these energy reserves. So we can see the South China Sea near the China and the other countries. So this is the place where the mines are to be trapped, and South China Sea is expanding the resources for getting the flammable ice. Let's come to the flammable ice now. What is actually flammable ice? Methane hydrate, they are sometimes called as, is considered as the world's largest carbon-based fossil fuel. That means they are carbon-containing compounds as well as they are highly flammable. They are actually solid. So how can a solid ice gets into flame? Because they are trapping methane gas, and methane gas is actually found in natural gas. So they are formed at very low temperatures and a very high pressure. And if we see in the solid ice, what you will find is 1 liter of ice will contain 120 grams of methane, which means that if we are going to burn 1 liter of this flammable ice, we are going to get 169 liters of methane gas. That is extreme amount of methane gas we are getting. And methane gas, remember, is actually found in natural gas. So let us talk about natural gas. What is natural gas? It is actually a mixture of different carbon containing gases. It primarily contains methane and contains ethane. So if you see in general amounts, an approximate amount, it contains 95% methane and 3% ethane. The rest are propane, butane and other heavy hydrocarbons. Some amount of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen and even water vapor are also found in this gas. They are formed when plant and animal matter under the earth's surface become compressed. Mainly the animal matter became compressed, and with millions and millions of years, they under the high heat or sometimes a high pressure, they formed the natural gas. Now we will talk about how the flammable ice is formed. Now, as natural gas is formed under the earth's surface, flammable ice is also found under 2000 meter under the earth's surface. They are found mainly on the 3 different places. So first is the continental sedimentary rocks and the polar regions. Remember friends, they are ice. So they should have been found under the polar regions. Yes, the polar regions as well as the layers of permafrost, those are the regions where we can find this kind of ice that is trapping excessive amount of methane gas. And the third part where we are currently focusing on under the oceanic sediments, they are in a depth of 300 meters or so, and they can also be between the deep freshwater lakes such as Lake Baikal in Russia. So we can see these pictures. So these are the first part where we can find it in the continental sedimentary rocks. There is the bottom of permafrost under the ice surface, and third is where this kind of methane is seeping, is coming towards the ocean beds, and they are forming this flammable ice. Let's come to the first part, continental sedimentary rocks. What are they? We all know sedimentary rocks, they are formed by deposition of soil on earth's surface. Many of the earth's surface is actually sedimentary rock. You can just see the change of colors. Can you see the change of colors in different parts? You can see the layers. So these layers are actually layers of sediment or the soil which has layered on one of the other and formed the hard rock. In continents, these rocks are called continental sedimentary rocks. Now these methane clathrates, or sometimes called as methane hydrates, now these methane clathrates or hydrates are trapped in a bed of sandstone or the sedimentary rocks in these places which are very cold, Alaska, Siberia and northern Canada, and they can be found here at a depth of about 800 meters. So this is all about the continental sedimentary rocks in the land where we can find this flammable gas. Next we come to the another part of the land which is called as permafrost, which is also housing this kind of gases. Permafrost is the soil that has remained below 0 degrees Celsius for more than 2 years. So these are the soil that don't get much heat, much warmth, so they don't generally liquidify and they become solid containing trapped ice. That ice underground contains lot of hydrocarbons and they are found in Alaska, Canada and Siberia. So these permafrost are very rich in hydrocarbons, means they contain carbon containing fuels, which is probably methane, and they are frozen. That means they are trapped in ice. So there we can understand that this ice we are getting, this flammable ice, is actually nothing but water trapping methane particles and forming flammable ice. And of course, if permafrost melts, now we have global warming issues going on in our world. So if in that issue permafrost melts, then it will release lot of carbon dioxide because of the microbes, because of the tiny bacterial action. Let's go to the third point where we find this kind of frozen ice under the seabeds. So they are getting it under 4,000 feet or 1,219 meter under the South China Sea. Thermogenic methane, those are heat producing, are formed by the degradation of matter by these kind of bacteria. Some bacteria are there which are degrading organic matter, some dead animals, some dead sea animals, they are degraded and they are forming the methane. These methane are sometimes also seeping up from the underground and by this different bacterial action, they are mixing ultimately with the sea floor water. This temperature is pretty low. Under this low temperature and high pressure, under the water we have extremely high pressure. So under low temperature and high pressure, these are converting into this frozen ice. And this ice are not only water, but they are densely packed with methane, which makes it extremely flammable. Now, let us consider the difference between coal and flammable ice. What is coal? We know coal is our daily used fossil fuel. Coal is actually a solid, but flammable ice is actually a part of natural gas. And coal is obtained from plant remains, where you can see natural gas is formed by dead animals. They are basically formed from dead animals and sometimes plants. Coal, the main difference is inside the coal we have long molecules of hydrocarbons. So there are carbon compounds and they are long molecules of carbons along with hydrogen present in them. So they are long molecules of hydrocarbons, but flammable ice here, the natural gas particles are very small and they are only 1 or 2 carbon particles. So they are made up of small hydrocarbons or light hydrocarbons. That is why they are gas. They can be gas or they can be liquid, but coal is actually long molecules and the long molecules make it a solid. So thus they are flammable ice are solidified at low temperatures, but ultimately they release gas. Now this is the difference. Now what is the similarity between coal and flammable ice? Both of them are fossil fuels. So basically both of them contains carbon, and if you burn carbon, you will get only one product, that is carbon dioxide along with water vapor. So the main product you burn with any fossil fuels, you get the product carbon dioxide, and thus it will again cause pollution. So let's see how the environment will get affected if this kind of fossil fuels are extracted from inside the earth's surface. If there is continuous drilling, it can destabilize the methane and cause explosion. So methane is actually considered to be 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide, and it can cause 25 times more global warming. The gases which trap the sun's energy and doesn't let it go out. So carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Methane is a much more harmful potential greenhouse gas, and if this methane is leaking, the environment factor is much more at a worse condition. So this mining of methane hydrate is extremely dangerous in another point also. They also can cause tsunamis because they can disturb, the drilling can disturb eventually the ice floors, and if the sea floors get disturbed, they can cause tsunamis. So we can come to the conclusion, environment protection is one of the major issues which we have to keep in mind, or anyone has to keep in mind while the country is drilling the flammable ice. So how this can be reduced, how the environment can be protected? Proper ways of disposal of the used parts of fuel ice. After the ice has been used up for extracting the methane, they has to be disposed very properly, or else they can again lead to pollution. And any leaking methane, so methane can leak out during this process, any leaking methane cannot escape into the atmosphere. There should be a trapping technique. And in this way, if methane is trapped, see, methane has lot of derivatives or different products that can it be converted to. So conversion of any byproducts which are very useful can be done, and they are right now in research. So how we can put methane into different derivatives like fertilizers, fibers, or sometimes automobile parts, and they can be used in different various ways. And these useful derivatives ultimately will benefit humans and also can be taken up by the plants or any microorganisms and not be thrown away directly into the atmosphere. So obviously there is a hope at the end of the tunnel. But saying all this fact, there are some challenges that are right now there while harnessing the fuel. One is there is a high cost pertaining to this excursion. So we can say that right now not lot of the countries are able to do that. Again, another fact is non-availability of the substantial amount. It is not available as in a concentrated area as we can find oil, that is petroleum, or coal. It is available everywhere but not in a very substantial amount. So that is another challenge. Then we come to the technological barriers. Right now we don't have that much technology that can convert the methane into a proper amount of fuel as well as dispose of with a proper environmental knowledge. And lastly, the environmental concerns which regards to the disposal. So thus the countries we will talk about, they are leading the search of the flammable ice are, except China, are United States, Japan, Canada and Russia as well, because Russia has some parts where flammable ice are susceptible to be found, and includes South Korea and India. Now, why these countries are in the news? Because they are actually doing some research regarding this kind of flammable ice. So we can see in the map, the red colored dots are the identified reserves. So in India also we have 3-4 reserves near India which are identified with this amount of methane hydrates under the sea. And the blue parts which you can see near the US and in the South China Sea. So these you can see lot of concentrated areas where direct sampling has been done. That means samples of flammable ice has been taken from there and they have been shown. And third, there is some green dots where you can see in the upper part, the northern part of our world, northern hemisphere, which is the permafrost layer where this can be likely to occur. So that is all for the harnessing of flammable ice that is currently in news regarding to South China Sea. Thus we come to an end of this module. We are highly thankful to you for watching this video. For more such informative science and technology and health related videos, tune into Learning Space Digital. This is me, Amrita Naidu, and we will come back to more further modules in the next week.